Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Don't forget to subscribe if you find this entertaining or informative. I would really appreciate it if you're already subscribed, and there are many. I thank you very much. Today, we're going to talk about an experience that I've had, and it was a bit eye-opening regarding the younger folk of today, maybe 35 and younger, 35 years of age and younger, who are not getting mortgages but getting expensive cars. So, if you didn't know, I'm in semi-retirement, and what I do is, in semi-retirement, is deliver cars to customers, one-on-one. So I'm currently driving a beautiful BMW, and I'm going to deliver it in London to one of our customers. Yeah, I'm going to hand it over, and then I will get the train back up to Stafford, where I live, or where I currently reside. Part of those jobs is to go and collect cars from dealerships, the normal dealerships that you see in the street, yeah, for Ford, for Audi, BMW, BYD, anything, la. And then I'll go and collect that car, and it may have been in for repair and going back to our base, or I may have to take it straight on to a customer that's expecting the delivery of that car, which is great. Easiest job in the world. No stress. No stress. If you want to get rid of some stress from work and you're in semi-retirement mode, you might want to consider delivering cars. Yeah, it's easy. You can calculate. I'm paid £14.24 an hour, and I'm paid by the minute, which is great. And some days I'll do 8 hours, some days I'll do 14 hours. Calculate it out. You calculate the numbers out. I'm earning just as much as a daily rate as I used to in my pre-retirement days of IT. I was earning something like 70,000 a year. But now there's no stress. I'm not naturally like this. This is 40 years of IT. No hair. Right, let's take this lane. Let's go back to the subject. As I say, I'm on my way down in a stress-free drive to London to deliver a car to a happy customer that can't wait to get her hands on her BMW. Anyway, and this is relevant. So, sometimes I pick up cars from dealerships and I then deliver them to customers. And when I've been in these dealerships, I've noticed something strange. Over the past few weeks, I've only been doing this 4 or 5 weeks. And I've noticed that the people that are buying cars are relatively young people, 35 and below, and they are buying big, expensive cars. And I'm thinking, they're obviously buying it on a hire purchase or a lease or a PCP, yes? Let's be real. They're buying it on a monthly payment. Some of those monthly payments may demand a deposit, some may not. I don't know. I'm not particularly interested in that. So I questioned one of the guys, one of the managers at one of the dealerships. And I said to him, why are all these young people buying really expensive cars, or leasing or PCPing really expensive cars? How do they afford it? And do you know what he said to me? He said they can't afford it. He said, but they can't afford a house either. So from his conversations with people, it would appear that, let's just give the thumbs up to this guy. It would appear that the younger people, I mean, I'm 59, young relative to me, are getting sick and tired of chasing an opportunity for a house where they just keep on failing to get that house because it's just too expensive, or they can't even get a mortgage. I mean, bearing in mind, this is August 2026, yeah, where mortgages in the UK are very difficult to get. And instead of chasing that mortgage, they're staying where they are in rented accommodation or living with mom and dad, and they're going and buying the next best thing, the most expensive thing, which is, in most people's place, a car. So they're enjoying expensive cars at £1,000 a month, let's say, or £800 or £1,200 a month. I don't know, but it's not going to be £225 a month. And basically, it was telling me, it was saying that these people, these younger people, are sick and tired of trying to chase something that they don't seem to be able to achieve. So why bother and just enjoy life for the moment? And that's a good point. They're enjoying life for the moment. They're going to go and get a nice car, maybe not this BMW, maybe something else, maybe something even more expensive. And just enjoy something in their life rather than constantly chasing something that the goalposts keep on moving forward and they can't seem to keep up. I don't want to go into politics, yeah? I don't want to start saying, well, the average pay on the UK should be this or whatever. That's another video. If you've looked at my past videos, I've always said if you're on less than 85,000 as a man in the UK, forget about what your wife's earning or your girlfriend's earning. If you're on less than £85,000 a year, you're on the poorer side. £85,000 should be the average. It's not. They say 39,000 is the average. That's what the actual average is, the mean average. But to afford to live in the UK, a man needs to be on £85,000 a year, gross. Just saying. But these people are going in and they're getting a really nice car and they're enjoying life through the really nice car rather than life through a house. That said, I think a lot of people today don't want a typical house that we used to enjoy in the 1980s, 1970s, 1990s. We were happy with a 2 up, 2 down, whereas today I think they want something like a 3 or 4 bedroom with 2 or 3 bathrooms. Okay, I understand that. £400,000 maybe, and then they can't then they can't get the mortgage. I mean, my son, he went and bought a house 9 months ago, something like that, and he bought it for £160,000, and he spent £20,000 on it, and it looks lovely. Him and his girlfriend have done a wonderful job. Yeah, I'm just saying. So they now have a mortgage of, let's say, I don't know, £180,000. But this house is in a normal area. It's a nice area, nice neighbours, normal people, normal cars, maybe, normal cars, not expensive cars. And, it's a normal area. And it's just a normal house that was built 80 years ago. It doesn't have 3 bathrooms. It doesn't have a triple drive and a double garage. In its normal form, actually. They're actually building a garage in round the back. And that's a double garage. But that's another 20 grand. But that's another subject. I'm not going to go into that. The point here is, it's interesting that there are so many younger people, 35 and below, 30 below, that have realised they're never going to be able to achieve. They're never going to be able to achieve a mortgage, the purchase of a house. So they've resigned to the fact that if that's not going to happen, and we've saved up so much money for a deposit, of which keeps on going higher and higher and higher, and you just can't get a mortgage in the UK, then maybe they forget about it, they'll figure it out in another 10 or 15 years. And now, at this moment in time, they go out and get a PCP or a lease car for 2, 3, 4 years that's more than big enough for what their life needs. What do you think to that? I never even thought about that, and it's such a sad situation. It's such a sad situation where our younger generation or generations have given up on the thought of not being able to buy a house, and to overcome the grief associated to that, they go and enjoy life using and go and get a nice car, a really nice expensive car, and pay £1,000 a month or whatever the payment is. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. You tell me. Do you do this? Are you a young person that's paying for a car and have given up the hope of getting a mortgage? You tell me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was thought-provoking. I'm having a really nice time using adaptive cruise control with no stress. The car's slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up. By itself. No stress. I do feel sorry for the young. Last political statement. The governments over the last 20, 25 years have destroyed the value of the Great British Pound. And that's why the average pay, the mean average pay in the UK is £39,000, which is not enough to go and get a mortgage. There you go. That's another subject. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you for watching. Give the video a like if you got this far. Don't forget to subscribe, as I said at the beginning, if you're not subscribed. See you soon. Bye-bye.